Hi, how are you? Nice to see you. How you been? It's going, baby. Yeah. You enjoying spring? I know. I was just looking at the weather. It's going to snow next Tuesday. I feel like I don't trust Apple weather. It changes every day, but I'm trying to be outside for as long as I can until then. Yeah. Hi.
Sorry, but the guest girl's not here.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm a little. I'll text Sabrina, but just in case she doesn't come, are you okay if I go and leave the door locked?
Yes, that's totally
I was
fine.
Like, oh crap, I can't stay till 8.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
please don't.
okay,
I think usually everyone comes right before or right on time.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you.
She's usually here at 6, so I was like, oh no, I'm kind of concerned. So I'll text Sabrina, but just
Is
in
it
case I have
Alex
to
usually
leave.
on Tuesdays?
Yeah,
Okay.
in case I have to leave, I just want to make sure you're okay.
I'm good.
Awesome, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for letting me know. Hi, how are you? You here for class? Yay! Yeah. Yay. Hey, thank you. It's a treat, unexpected. I mean, I literally picked the twigs on Friday morning and dropped them off 20 minutes later. Yeah. Everyone keeps asking, like, what category were you in? And the category is called woody branches. But it was so fun. It's so fun. Plant people are such dweebs, and like yoga people, everyone nerds out. And the sweet part about it got so quiet. The sweet part about it is that some people have been showing plants there for like 40 years, and everyone wants to talk about their plant. And I'm like, tell me everything. Tell me the history, the scientific name, what you bought it as. We're talking about the flower show. Just plants in general. I feel like once you find, there's like I can talk endlessly about yoga, and now I'm dipping myself into the plant world, and I realize people just love to share, and I love to listen. So it's a really nice man-made situation. All right, we'll start in a couple minutes, y'all. Nice and early today on the spring day. We're waiting on a few more folks, and while you're getting comfortable, the usual suspects for props. I'd love to get some time to roll, so if you'd like to grab some therapy balls, you can grab them now, or I can bring them to you later. They're in the white baskets over here. A strap, 2 blocks, and a blanket is usually a good place to start. Hi, Keyshawn. And anything else you fancy? Spring. Hot spring. I'll turn the fans on as we start to get moving so that air can get going around here. Everyone get some time outside today? Even if it was just to come to the yoga studio. Yeah, there's a meme running around on the internet that's it's not new, but it's the one of like the seasons of Philadelphia. Have you seen that one? Oh, they did? Can you remind me what it is again? It's like winter, ice cold winter, fake spring, which is what we're in now, and then real winter. They have funny names. You have it?
The actual spring, summer, hell's front porch, false fall, second summer, actual fall.
Yeah, the pollinating. We haven't entered that yet. But if you have, a good segue, there are tissues up here if you need any. Okay. All right. Oh, first daylight savings Tuesday. We all made it on time in some way or the other. I was talking downstairs to someone and was like, every year the spring one rocks me more than I would like to admit. I feel like tomorrow is the day that I'm going to catch up to it, but today I woke up being like, where am I? Who is this? But I'm really happy we're all here together. My name is Anisha, for those of you that I didn't officially get to say hi to. Hi, Bella, come on in. It's really nice to be with you all. And the clipboard is brand new and updated. There's always a clipboard here with the new upcoming workshops that are going on at the studio. So I'll share them after we practice. But if you have time outside of the public class schedule, the workshop list is stacked and ready for spring, the pollinating, and fall, and everything in between. All right, today, our second class of March. So for some of us that have been practicing together, what I've been liking doing this year is teaching monthly, so a series of poses all month long, or a mythological story. And this month is dedicated to our sweet friend who's been living up here at the front of the studio for as long as it's been in existence. The deity of Shiva, one of the great lords of yoga, one of the divine masculine energies of yoga. And last week I shared the story, and if we weren't together last week, you didn't miss anything. I shared the little story of how it took me so many years of practicing here to realize that he's dancing on the back of a baby demon. And if you ever come up close and look, the baby demon has a full mustache and a machete, but it's still a baby. And it's the demon of ignorance, Apasmara. So last week was all about him. But today, the story talks about what this pose that Shiva is most famous for really symbolizes. And now, to back it up very quickly, I talk about him in March because his birthday falls around this time of year, Mahashivaratri. This year it technically happened on February 14th and 15th, but we're just rounding up into this month. But he is one of the three main divine masculine energies of the yoga tradition. There's Brahma, the creator of the universe as we know it, Vishnu, the preserver of the world as we know it, and Shiva, the great destroyer, the god of transformation, the lord of yoga. And today's story kind of talks about who he is and why he's so important. So once upon a time, a very, very long, long time ago, there was the goddess of beauty. Her name was Lakshmi. And she was living amongst the world, amongst the people, and she says, you know what? I don't really want to do this anymore. I'm not interested in this earthly plane. I'm going to go hide for a little while. Like, no one needs to know where I am. And as one of the supreme feminine energies, when she leaves, everything that inspires beauty goes with her. So the flowers don't bloom anymore, the rains don't fall, the river runs dry, and those that are remaining are like, we can't live like this. Somebody has to go find her. Like, this cannot be how we exist on this world. And so long story short, they get a little hot tip that she has hidden herself at the bottom of the ocean of milk. Now, I said this yesterday, you'll have to suspend reality for a moment and use your imagination. There was this giant churning ocean of milk that this story is based on. And they realized she's sitting right at the very bottom. And so what they do is the gods and goddesses that are remaining realize they have to create a little whirlpool and a vortex. And so in the 1 minute that I have to tell you the story, I'll tell you the very abridged version. They take a mountain, they wrap a snake around the mountain, the god of the turtle god comes up and rests the mountain on his back, and the demons and the gods play tug of war with the mountain, kind of like a whisk, until this giant churning becomes. Next week I'll bring my comic book. I have a comic that shows all these pictures, and this is true, actual facts. The mountain, the turtle, and the snake. But eventually, as they start to churn the ocean of milk, it starts to reveal things that they've never seen before. There's incredibly beautiful gems that emerge. There's animals they've never seen. The churning reveals worlds and information that they never even knew existed. And eventually, we get to the very bottom of the ocean where they see Lakshmi sitting there on her lotus flower. And she says, okay, you found me, fine. However, next to her is this very toxic poison. In the story in Sanskrit, it's called halahala. So anytime somebody goes to seek her, they come close to the poison and they lose all of their powers. They disintegrate, they can no longer be who they were. And so they don't have any other strategy in order to try to get Lakshmi, this goddess of beauty, back onto the earthly plane. Now, our great deity Shiva, he hears what's happening from the foothills of where he's meditating. And he comes, known as the Great Destroyer. He arrives to the very base of the ocean of milk, and he takes the poison into his hands, being untouched by it, and he starts to drink it. And as he's drinking it, his entire body begins to turn this bright cerulean blue color, and they realize it's affecting him more than they thought. And so what happens, his beloved Parvati, we talk about her a lot in October, the story goes she places one hand on his chest to prevent the poison from coming down his throat, which just leaves his throat this brilliant blue color, and he becomes transformed into this different version of Shiva as we know it. Poison is drank, consumed. Lakshmi returns, the end. Story complete until next week where there's another one. But you know why? I always say when I share these mythological stories, this one is called the Samudra Manthan, the churning of the milky ocean. I always ask and say, why am I telling you this story on a Tuesday night in 2026 in Philadelphia? And one, you can think of them as almost fairy tales as an adult that you don't get to listen to too often, and think of a world that stretches your imagination. But another option to think of it as is that in this yoga tradition, it's thought that you are not separate from each one of these characters. You are the Lakshmi, the goddess of beauty. You are the mountain, you are the snake, you are the god of the turtle that helps churn the milky ocean. You are the poison, and you are every character in between. And so when Shiva comes to consume this poison, the moral of this story that we'll get into today as we practice is that he doesn't ignore or deny or wait for somebody else to take care of business. He literally digests the poison, he confronts it and consumes it so that order can be restored in the world as we know it. And in one version of the story, you can think of this milky ocean as an ocean full of gems and animals, but it's also thought to be the ocean of consciousness, where no ocean is ever still. There's not a moment in your mind where something is going to sit still. There's a thought that each and every day we think 16,000 thoughts per day, and so how many of those do you remember and recognize? And the story of Shiva teaches us it's not a strategy in the ocean of consciousness to try to find a still mind, but it's to notice and to become aware of all of the fluctuations of the mind and see what comes up. See the gems, see the wisdom, see the metaphorical animals that have been there before, and reveal what you see about yourself. So today's practice, we're going to do a bunch of things in repetition, the same series of poses over and over and over again, churning that literal and metaphorical ocean of milk in the practice. And the question is, what begins to emerge? What do you digest? What do you consume? What do you let go of? And what do you help ignite you to create a little more room than before? You'll have to forgive me, March is a chatty month. October is also a chatty, well, every month is a chatty month, but when the mythological stories are here, I gotta share them because they're so inextricably linked with our yoga practice, and they create a world beyond our own imagination to see what cannot be seen. So we'll see where Shiva takes us in rounds and rounds of poses and poses in the ocean of milk. So let's begin together in a seat, please, or you might start lying down against the floor, but let yourself arrive in as comfortable a way as you can possibly be. Again, you might be laying down on the ground, you might be seated cross-legged, but as your hands fall anywhere they might fall, into your lap or onto the tops of your thighs, allow for your eyes to soften or close so you can listen for your own breath. When you close your eyes, you turn in towards that milky darkness, that cooling, generative, expansive darkness behind your own eyelids. And as you become more acquainted and familiar in the dark, you might begin to see any gentle spots of light or flashes of color, or patterns or shapes that you've seen throughout your own day, the objects appearing from that ocean of milk. And as you keep your attention inward, can you begin to listen for your own breath? letting each breath begin to move from your nose down into your belly and up into your chest. And as you exhale, offer the breath up and out through the very crown of your head, so your head might sit above your heart and your heart might rest above your hips. Take a few more breaths on your own, almost feeling that ocean-like quality of your breath. Trying to slow down each breath in as it fills you up, and letting the exhales lengthen the spine as your outer body softens. Let's begin our practice and our time together with 3 more rounds of that breath. So as you're ready, begin to draw your hands to center, where that feels for you, somewhere on your body or in front of your heart. But wait for your next inhale as it fills you up completely. And exhale to offer all of that breath out. 2 more times, just on your own. At the bottom of your breath, pause for a moment. Notice any difference that comes when you remember and listen for your own breath. And as you keep a thread of that connection inward, let your hands gently release as you blink your eyes open. We'll begin standing today somewhere at the top of your mat to start to link your breath and movement together. You might have your blocks framing out the top corners of your mat. Perhaps you use them as we begin to move around. But as you come to stand, let your feet be hip-width apart. Let all 10 toes point straight ahead, and unlock your knees if they have a tendency to lock out. Being mindful of your neighbors as you breathe in, begin to reach your arms forward and up to the ceiling. And on your exhale, stay standing as your hands come down by your sides. Let's do that 3 more times with your breath. Big inhale to reach up. Breathe into your belly and chest. And as you exhale, let your hands come down by your sides. Twice more. As you inhale, can you breathe from belly up into the heart? As you exhale, even when the arms come down, can you grow taller through the crown of your head? 1 more. Take a long breath in. Breathe in, touch the sky. And as you exhale, let your hands come down by your sides. On your next inhale, 1 more time, slow and steady, reach up to touch the sky. And as you exhale, soften your knees, hinge at your hips to fold as you bring your hands onto blocks or fingertips out in front of you. You might widen your feet an inch or 2 or soften your knees in service of giving your low back and your hips a little extra room. But take a breath here as you bow in towards yourself. A longer breath in and a deeper breath out. On your next inhale, come up halfway to lengthen. Bring your hands to your blocks or shins as you reach your chest forward. And on your exhale, fold in towards yourself once again. Let's do that 2 more times. Slow breath brings you halfway up to lengthen. Try to tone the belly to support your spine. And exhale to fold, bowing in. 1 more. Take a long breath in. Come up halfway. Ardha Uttanasana. And on your exhale, fold in towards your own self. Now begin to plant your palms to the top of your mat. Walk your feet to the back of your mat. Take it back to downward facing dog. And in your down dog, you might find some stillness. You might pedal your heels from side to side. You might bend and straighten your knees simultaneously. But can you remember the fullness of your breath? Deepen the next breath in and lengthen the full exhale out through every direction. Now with those hands as wide as your mat, a few times together on your inhale, come forward to plank pose, the top of your push-up. And as you exhale, soften your knees, send your butt up and back to take it back to downward facing dog. Let's do that twice more. On an inhale, ripple forward through to plank pose. Take a breath. And as you exhale, knees soft, lead from your butt to take it back to down dog. 1 more time, take a long breath in, come forward through to your plank, slide your heart forward. And as you exhale, knees soft, as your butt lifts up and back to downward facing dog. On your next inhale, come forward to plank pose one more time. And this time as you exhale, bend your elbows to lower all the way down to your belly. Do let your hands be as wide as your mat. Inhale to rise for cobra or baby cobra as you lift your chest. And on your exhale, release down to the earth twice more. Slow breath in, lifts the heart. Bhujangasana, slide the ribs back. And exhale to lower all the way to the ground. Last round, take a full breath in to lift your heart. Hug the shoulder blades together, slide the sides of your throat back so your head is above your heart. And on your exhale, release down to the ground. Curl your toes, plant your palms. On an inhale, press up through to table or plank pose. And exhale to take it up and back to downward facing dog. Each class, the same series of poses, maybe in a different order, but linking breath and movement. And as this ocean of your consciousness turns, can you feel and remember your breath, taking longer breaths in and steadier breaths out through every direction of you. At the bottom of your exhale, lift your heels, soften your knees, look forward, and one foot at a time, begin to walk your feet up towards your hands to come into your forward fold. As you breathe in, come up halfway to lengthen. Let the balls of your feet be just as heavy as your heels. And exhale to fold in towards yourself. With those feet 2 fists width apart, let your toes point straight ahead. Begin to bend your knees, sit your butt back, and palms come to your thighs for this round of Utkatasana chair pose. Now, as your butt gets heavy, sometimes the knees want to knock in. Let them guide open towards your second and third toes. And now press into your legs to lift your chest away from the ground. Stay right here for more support in the low back. You might add some heat and reach your arms up to the sky, but listen for your breath. A full breath in and down. As you exhale, think butt heavy to the back of your mat. As you lift your chest, maybe your gaze away from the floor. On your inhale, come all the way up to rise. Reach up to touch the sky. And as you exhale, fold in towards yourself. Keep your right foot forward. Step your left foot all the way back to find your lunge. And with your hands high up on blocks or fingertips on either side of your right foot, wiggle the left toes back just another inch to get longer in your stance. Now with your breath, stay in the lunge. Take an inhale to lift your heart, grow long through the spine. And as you exhale, straighten your right knee as you fold and bow in. Let's do that twice more. Big inhale brings you through to lunge. Bend your knee, lift your heart. And a long breath out to straighten and fold. One more slow belly breath in to breathe into your chest. And on your exhale, fold as your right knee straightens and you bow in. Now, once both of those legs are straight, pause for a few breaths. Can you lift your back heel higher up off the ground? Push through your left foot to wrap your left hip to the front of your mat. Now press into your blocks to lift your chest. Come up halfway to lengthen. Keeping your left hand down, bring your right hand to your right hip. And as you wrap your right hip back, shrug your right shoulder up and back, and from your belly start to turn open to the right. You might stay here with your hand on your hip. You might reach your right arm up to the ceiling for this variation of revolved triangle, but a deeper breath in and down. Stay for the exhale, hug the shoulder blades together, and slide your ears back so your head is in line with your chest. On your next inhale, unwind, lower your right hand, bend your right knee, look forward, and all the hops you need to come back into your forward fold. Inhale to lengthen halfway, try to tone the belly to support the spine, and exhale to fold in towards yourself. For your second side, keep your left foot forward, slide your right foot back to find your lunge. Squeegee the back toes back, just another inch more. And now here, as you stay on your blocks or fingertips, take a breath to lift your chest, grow long through the spine, and exhale to fold as your front knee straightens, bow in. Twice more, listen for your breath more than my voice. Big inhale through to lunge. As you exhale, fold and let your front knee straighten. One more, breathe into the belly and chest as you find the lunge. And exhale to fold as your left knee straightens. Now here, sometimes the hips want to spin open to the right, so when you lift your back heel, it'll help wrap your right hip to the front of the room. So as the hips stay facing forward, press into your blocks to come up halfway, lift your chest. Keep your right hand connected, bring your left hand to your hip, and you can give yourself your own little assist here. Wrap your left hip back, shrug your left shoulder up and back, and from your belly, start to turn open to the left. Good, maybe your hand stays, maybe it reaches up to the sky, but as your outer left hip tacks back, can you press your left big toe side of your foot into the ground? And now lean back against yourself as you take a bigger breath in. And one more exhale to offer it out. On your inhale, unwind, bend your front knee, plant your palms onto your sticky mat, and take it back to downward facing dog. Pedal those heels and listen for your breath. On an inhale, come forward to plank pose a few more times together. Big exhale to lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to rise, Bhujangasana. Hug the shoulder blades together as you lift your heart. And on your exhale, take it up and back to downward facing dog. From your down dog, inhale to lift your right leg to the sky. Step your right foot through or around to find your lunge. And now as you pivot your hands and feet over to the left, come into your wide-legged forward fold, facing the long edge of your mat. Just here for a breath, so with all 10 toes pointing straight ahead, take a tiny bend in your knees, especially if they lock easily. Now inhale to hug your feet towards each other. Feel the inner thighs engage. A big breath in. And as you exhale, let the elbows soften as you bow in towards yourself. Breathing. Let your head stay low. Keep your back left foot just as it is. And turn your right knee and toes to face the front of the room into your lunge. On an inhale, come up to rise for warrior two as you reach your arms out to a T. That's it. Guide your right knee open. Can you look away from the floor and stretch out through the fingertips as you remember your breath? A deeper breath in and down. Stay for the exhale. Grow taller through the crown of your head as you bend into your front thigh. Now keep the legs as they are. As you inhale, reach just your arms to the ceiling. Bend your right elbow, pat yourself on the back, and let your left fingertips grab on. Think elbow to the sky. And gently press your head back so the throat can stay open. Slide the ribs back to steady the middle of your back as you take a deeper breath in. Stay for the exhale and bend one more inch into your front thigh. Now release your arms out to a T. Press your right knee straight. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, bring your right hand to a block or your fingertips on the outside of your right leg. So come to the outside, the pinky side edge of the foot. As you come to Trikonasana, your left hand might stay on your hip. You might reach it up to the ceiling. But as you breathe in, hug your feet in towards each other. Now press down into your bottom hand. Reach your left arm one more inch to the ceiling as you lean back against yourself. A bigger breath in. Stay for your exhale. Take a side stretch. Start to sweep your left arm over your ear towards the front of the room. Imagine like someone's tugging you through the left fingertips, but you're resisting with the left foot. As you reach out through the left waist, the shoulder, the fingertips, let your belly and chest start to turn open to the left. Breathing. On an inhale, unwind. Lower your hands to the ground. Bend your right knee. And take it back to downward facing dog. Are we cooking? Okay. The air conditioning was on. I said, yes, but what is happening? Take a breath. Notice the difference. And for the second side, you might locate your strap. We'll take a shoulder stretch on the second side as you lift your left leg up and back. Step your left foot through or around to find your lunge. And now you might bring your strap with you as you pivot your hands and feet over to the right and come into your wide-legged forward fold facing the other direction. Now here I like to hold a strap between my hands so my chest has a lot of extra room. You might start hip width apart or wider. If you'd like, you might interlace your fingers at your low back. But as you bow in, bend your elbows a lot, hug your shoulder blades together, and on an inhale, start to reach your arms off of your butt towards the ceiling without letting the elbows lock out. Keep a tiny bend that you can't see, but you might be able to feel. Now with each inhale, hug the feet towards each other. With every exhale, try to tug your strap apart or the fingers apart to kiss the shoulder blades towards each other. It's like you're playing your own game of tug of war. Each breath in, the legs hug in. Each exhale, the strap tugs, the shoulder blades kiss as your arms reach overhead towards the long edge of your mat, breathing. Now slowly release your hands back to your butt. Ditch your strap to the side. Keep your right foot as it is as your left knee and toes come through to lunge. On an inhale, rise, Virabhadrasana 2 on the second side. Take a breath as you arrive. As you peek away from the ground, try to stretch out through the fingertips and bend into your front thigh. Now the legs stay the same. As your arms reach up, bend your left elbow, pat yourself on the back, and let your right fingertips hold on. As you lift your elbow high, gently press your head back and the ribs slide back to support the middle of your back. As you take a full breath in and down, stay for the exhale, bend into your front thigh as you lift your left elbow to the ceiling. On your next breath, release your arms, straighten your left knee, take a big breath in, get taller, and for Trikonasana, let your left hand tap a block or the floor on the outside of your left foot or left leg. Nice, y'all. Here in triangle, sometimes the knees, they love to lock. So find a tiny bend that you might not see, but you can feel. And now keep that as you hug your feet to center. Feel the inner thighs, feel the hips engage. As you slide the shoulders back and the ears back to lean against the steadiness you've created. A big breath in. And on your exhale, a side stretch. Sweep your right arm towards the front of the room. Can you feel it start from your right back foot? Press the pinky side edge of your right foot down. Reach through the right waist, the shoulder, the fingertips. And as you press into your left hand, let your chest almost revolve open to the ceiling as you breathe. Nice. Inhale to unwind yourself. Lower your hands, bend your front knee, and take it all the way back to downward facing dog. From your down dog, inhale through to plank pose. And on an exhale, lower all the way down onto your belly. Once you're on your belly, stretch your arms alongside of you. Flip your palms down to face the floor. We'll lift into locust in a moment, but as you rest on your chin or on your forehead, feel your legs behind you in space. And now hug an imaginary block in between your thighs. Push your palms down into the floor. Kiss the shoulder blades together. As you breathe in, begin to lift your head, your chest, float your arms up off of the floor, and exhale to let your legs lift up and away from the ground. Try to soften or even close your eyes and remember your breath. As you inhale, it might lift the heart 1 more inch. As you exhale, the legs might lift 1 more inch. Like the churning of your own breath, each inhale, the heart might lift. Each exhale, the inner thighs might lift. Take 1 more full breath in, stay for your exhale, and then slowly lower down to the ground. You can make a pillow with your hands. You might rest on one side of your cheek or on your forehead, but listen for your own breath itself. Each inhale can move in and down to fill your belly. And every exhale, as you soften further into the earth, notice what it is that you feel. Now, after a few breaths, let your hands come to either side of your chest. Press up through to tabletop. Sit back onto your heels. Sip some water. Shake out anything that needs to get shaken, and a breath. Fans, good? Yeah? Okay. March, man. What is the phrase? In like a lion, out like a lamb. Has anyone heard that one? What is it? What does it mean? Okay, maybe this is for off script. I think I'm also saying it wrong.
No, that's right. It's about the weather.
It's about the weather. In like a lion.
It starts like crappy weather, and then it ends with wonderful.
Soft. Okay. Thank you. All right, we're going to spend a few moments on the knees here. So if you'd prefer to find a blanket for some extra padding, please feel free to find one. And come to tabletop. Maybe your hands are on the ground or your hands might be up on blocks. But from your tabletop, begin to step your right foot to the outside of your right hand for lizard lunge. And here, since we set up from table, occasionally it means your hip is right above your knee. If it is, scoot your left knee back so that your thigh can be more diagonal to the ground. Now, one block or one hand at a time, start to walk your hands over to the left. Peek over your left shoulder, and now bend your left knee to lift your left toes up off the ground. With your right hand connected, reach your left hand around for the top of your foot for this low lunge with a thigh stretch. You might have a strap, you might grab the leg of your pants, but once you have a hold of the foot, push into your right hand to lift your chest. You might stay here the whole time. You might slowly bring your right hand to the inside of your right foot. You might play with some balance and climb your right hand up onto your right thigh. Or maybe your right hand wraps around to hug onto your left foot. But do let your chest face the front of the room as you take a deeper breath in and down. Stay for your exhale, lift your heart, try to lift your gaze, and maybe bend one more inch into your right knee. Now let your right hand go first, then release the back foot. Step it back to tabletop and take a breath in between sides to notice any difference. For the second round, there's no rush. Left foot, bring it to the outside of your left hand. Walk your right knee back so that your thigh is more diagonal to the floor. And now begin to walk your blocks or your hands over to the right. As you peek over the right shoulder, bend your right knee. Let your right hand reach around for the top of the foot. There's so much to do here as you press into your left hand to lift your chest. You can be here the whole time breathing. You might, all the other variations apply. Bring your left hand to the inside of the foot. Climb it up onto your thigh. Or let your left hand reach around to grab onto the right foot. But take a full breath in and down. Stay for the exhale as you lift your chest. Try to lift your gaze away from the floor and then bend into your front leg. Let it get heavier to the ground. Slowly let your left hand release first. Then let go of your right foot. Take it back to tabletop. And a breath or two here, a few rounds of stillness, a few rounds in cat and cow, and notice what it is that you feel. We'll spend another moment or two on the knees, but as you come into table once again, do bring your hands as wide as your mat if they're not already. And this time, stretch your right leg back behind you. As you gently swing your left heel over to the left like a kickstand, turn your right heel all the way to the ground like Warrior Two. And now begin to climb your right hand up onto your hip for this variation of supported side plank with the bottom knee down. Push your left hand down and forward and let that start to turn your chest open to the right. Now keeping yourself steady on an inhale, begin to reach your right foot up off the ground. Flex your right foot, try to straighten your right leg. And as you reach back through your right heel, slide the bottom of your heart forward to grow longer. Now, as if you're moving in an ocean of milk, the slowest way possible, begin to bend your right knee and move your right heel towards your butt. You might stay here with your hand on your hip, or like you did in the thigh stretch, let your right hand reach around for the top of the foot. Think thigh forward towards the brick wall. Push your foot back into your hand, and let that resistance turn your chest open to the ceiling as you breathe. On your next inhale, slowly release arm and your leg. Come back to tabletop and feel gravity underneath you as you pause on all fours, breathing. Yeah? Yeah. Okay, before we go to the second side, because like I've told you before, spoiler alert, we're doing this in multiple rounds. So this variation is half bow, yeah, and finding space in and through the chest. In a moment, we'll come up to do this not just on the knee, but on the foot. And one thing I want you to pay attention to, and some of us know, I've said this before in class, but as a reminder, occasionally when that back leg comes up off of the ground, it tends to have a mind of its own. Usually, it tends to swing, no one looked like this, I'm just showing the extremes to show you the direction, but usually it tries to swing way back behind you. What I want you to think, not how high the leg can go, but can you see it in your peripheral vision? So that when you bend your knee, instead of letting the thigh pull you back, you're trying to push the thigh forward and the foot back and let that revolve your chest open to the ceiling. You see how this thigh is in line with the hip? It might help create a little more stability to give you a big chest opener. Yeah? I wanted to mention that now because we're doing it again and again and again. So little gems from the churning of the ocean of milk or poisons. We'll see where it takes us. So tabletop, please. Let's do the other side. Do bring your hands as wide as your mat. Stretch your left leg back. Swing your right heel to the right. And as you turn your left heel all the way to the ground, bring your left hand to your hip to open up to the long edge of your mat. Take a breath here. Press down and forward through your right hand and let your belly turn open to the left. Now on your inhale, begin to lift your left foot up off the ground. Pause with the left knee straight. Flex your left foot, straighten your left leg, and now let your left toes come slightly further forward towards the flat wall as you lift your left inner thigh 1 more inch. Now keep that as you bend your left knee, kick your own butt cheek with your heel, stay right here or let your left hand reach for the top of the foot. Now instead of letting the thigh pull back, think thigh forward, and as your foot presses back, let your belly and chest turn open to the sky like you could wrap around yourself as you breathe. Whew. Inhale to release, come back to table, and a breath or two to notice what you feel from side to side. Nice. For this one, yes, because of the setup, but slightly further forward. Yeah. No, I like flex because it helps me remember that I got a leg back there, but if point helps you remember, but you just don't want, no, again, no one was doing this, but sometimes when the foot is just hot dog, for lack of a better description, it becomes real heavy, you know? So when the foot is flexed, wah, you can go that way. Yes, absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. And that might apply as we go to the next round, too. Yeah. Down dog. Let's do it without the knees. You still have your knees. No knees. Just jello legs. No knees. Oh, God. Tuesday, you know? All right, from your down dog, take a breath. Let yourself arrive. Now lift your right leg up and back. And step your right foot through to find your lunge. Spin your back heel to the floor. And we were here before. As you breathe in, rise. Warrior 2, repeated. That's it. Try to peek away from the ground. Stretch out through the arms. Bend into your front thigh as you take a big breath in and a deeper breath out. Straighten your right leg. As you exhale, tap your right fingertips to a block. Do come to a block. It'll help on the outside of your right foot. Hug your feet together. Press down into your right hand. Reach up through the left fingertips. And now lean back against yourself, breathing. With your left hand on your hip, look to the floor. See where you're going. And now begin to heel toe your left foot towards the front of your mat. Walk your right hand with the block forward of your right toes and slightly off to the right. Now as you lean into your block, lift your left foot up off the ground, just like you did in tabletop. Flex your left foot, straighten your left knee, And as you reach back through the left heel, slide your chest forward, Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. As you reach here, keep your hand on your hip or reach it up to the ceiling. Take a breath in through the nose and all the way out through the nose or mouth. Now in the slowest of motion, begin to bend your left knee. Kick your own butt cheek to your heel. You could stay here. Your left hand might come to your hip, or your left hand might reach for the top of the foot. And now the same action, think thigh forward, that's it, good. Press your foot back and let that revolve your chest and your belly open to the left, maybe even up to the ceiling. Ardha Chandra Chapasana. On your inhale, release your arm and your leg. Bend your right knee to step your left foot back. Plant your palms to step your right foot back and take it back to downward facing dog, breathing. Whew. Feel the breath within you. Feel the ground beneath you. And now it's your choice. You can stay here. You can always lower your knees down. Or you can go through one of those linking vinyasas of your choice that we've done before. But anywhere you so choose, can you remember the full depth of your breath in through the nose and lengthen each exhale out through your nose or mouth. Now, after your next few breaths, there's no rush. One more side to try out. When you make your way back to downward facing dog, take all the time that you need. Lift your left leg to the sky. Step your left foot through or around to find your lunge. Spin your back heel to the floor, and on your inhale, rise Virabhadrasana 2 on the second side. That ocean of consciousness, never still, always moving. Can you feel the depth of your breath? A deeper breath in and down. And as you exhale, grow taller through the crown of your head as you bend into your front thigh. Straighten your left knee. Take a big breath in. Reach out through the fingertips. And for Trikonasana, let your left hand come to your block on the outside of your left leg. With both of your legs straight, but not locked, especially that left knee, hug your feet to center. Now press down into your left hand, reach up through the right fingertips like you could hold the disco ball above you, breathe. And as your right hand comes to your hip, look to the floor, see the direction you want to move towards. Begin to heel toe your back foot to the front of your mat. And now walk your left hand like a footprint forward. You might even be on the floorboards and slightly off to the left. As you lean into your block, lift your right foot up off the ground. Try to flex or point your right foot and reach the right foot back as you slide your chest forward, breathing. You might keep your right hand on your hip or reach it up to the sky. Half moon, a deeper breath in and a longer breath out. And now in the slowest of motion, as you bend your right knee, kick your own butt cheek with your heel. Your right hand can stay on your hip, or your right hand might reach for the top of the right foot. But remember, instead of letting the thigh pull you back, press your thigh forward, push your foot back if you have a hold, and let that action revolve your entire heart open to the ceiling, breathing around yourself. On an inhalation, release the hold of your back foot. Soften your left knee to tap your right toes back. Plant your palms to step your left foot back and take it back to downward facing dog. A breath. As you wait for your inhale, come forward to plank pose. Wait for the exhale to lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Wait for your breath, Cobra Bhujangasana. Hug the shoulder blades towards each other. And on your exhale, take it back to your downward facing dog. From your down dog, lower both knees down onto the floor. Bring your feet towards each other, widen your knees, and come into Balasana, child's pose. Stretch your hips back towards your heels. You might bring your head onto a block or to the floor, or to your stacked palms, but let the weight of your head connect to something solid. Perhaps your arms stay out in front of you. Perhaps you wrap them around yourself to allow for your chest to soften. But take 3 deep breaths here to notice what you feel. As you breathe into your belly, let it soften and widen and expand. As you exhale, let the forehead soften into anything it's connected to. Now, after a few breaths, come back up through center, through to tabletop, and you'll make your way to a seat onto your butt. Good. Once you're on your butt, bend both knees, bring your feet flat onto the floor, and let your hands come back behind you. We'll get into some hip openers as counter poses. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh for the seated figure 4. Do your best here to keep your right foot engaged to help support your knee and ankle. And as you press into your hands, lift your chest. I said this yesterday, and I say it partly as facetiously, but very seriously. You can close your eyes and ignore every single thing I say next. Breathe here as you lift the heart. If you'd like to try anything different, you get to decide. You might scooch your hips towards your left heel to shorten the distance as you keep lifting your chest. If you get here and you say, come on back. Let yourself be in the place that you can breathe in. And now one more variation for Agni Stambhasana. You might walk your left foot over to the right and lower your right knee or left knee and shin down onto the ground. If you're in this variation, you want the right ankle to go over the thigh. So instead of the sole of your right foot pointing to the ceiling, both feet can be flexed. You might bring a block here. Again, you might stay here as you breathe. If you are in Agni Stambhasana, press into the earth to lift your chest. Completely optional to begin to hinge from your hips and fold as if your chin could hook over that right shin. But anywhere you find yourself, take 3 more breaths. Every inhale, can your chest get longer? Every exhale, let the outer body soften, so shoulders, the fingertips, and the jaw. Take 1 more full breath in and down. Stay for the exhale, flex through both feet as you soften in towards yourself. Now, if you folded forward on an inhale, make your way to come all the way back upright. Uncross your legs and bring both feet onto the floor. And being mindful of any props around you, take a breath as you drop your knees from side to side, a counter pose. For the second side, as your knees come back up through center, cross your left ankle over, and we'll go progressively the same way. As you flex your left foot, press into the earth to lift your chest, and let your breath be slow and steady. Stay exactly as you are. Again, all of the variations apply. You might scooch your hips towards your right heel as you lift your chest up, breathing. Stay right here, or perhaps you walk your right foot over to the left and lower your knee and shin down. The aim of the game is an open, outer right-left hip opener. You might feel it plenty right here. But anywhere you find yourself, can you remember your breath? If you're in Agni Stambhasana, that fire log pose, and you'd like to fold forward, begin to fold forward. But let your eyes be soft, and let your attention turn inward into that ocean of consciousness of your breath. Slow down the beginning of each breath in, and lengthen the entirety of your exhale out. If you're folded forward, can you stay? But with each breath, reach your chest longer to the front of the room. Each exhale, keep that length as you soften and bow in towards yourself. From the outside in, these poses seem static, but from the inside out, there's an entire universe of movement with your breath. Now, after a few breaths, if you folded forward on an inhale, come all the way back upright. Lean back to uncross your legs And begin to one more time, windshield wiper your knees from side to side. Now, once you've gone evenly from right to left, as your knees come back through center, begin to straighten your legs out in front of you. And now here, a little self-assessment. If you bring your hands to your low back, and it feels like your low back is rounding into your hands, like mine always is, I like to sit up onto the edge of a blanket. So it helps. The imagery I like to think of is this, if your pelvis is a bowl of water, it's not the water's tipping back, it's slightly tipping forward. So your low belly can lift in and up. Now for Janu Shirshasana, begin to bend your left knee, bring your left foot to your right inner thigh. Let your fingertips touch the floor on either side of you, and as you push into the fingertips, lift your chest. Flex your right foot, dig your heel, your calf, and your thigh into the ground, and begin from your bellies to start to turn over to the right, towards that right thigh. Stay right here. You are in a forward bend, breathing. Or for anything different, you might reach your left arm up towards the ceiling. Take a big breath in to get tall. And as you exhale, hinge from your hips as your left hand catches the outside of your right leg. So the thigh, the calf, the ankle, or the pinky edge of the foot. If you're bowing forward, you might bring your right hand to come in line with your right thigh or your right calf. And as you push your right palm down and forward, let your butt get heavier towards the blanket. Bend your left elbow to the left and turn your chest to the right as if your left cheek could rest on your right shin. Every inhale, can you reach your chest longer towards your towards your right toes? Every exhale, let yourself bow in towards your own self. Take one more full breath in through the nose and a deeper breath out through your nose or mouth. If you folded forward on an inhale, slowly come all the way back upright. And begin to switch your legs. Straighten your left knee, bend your right, and bring your right foot to your left inner thigh. Hug the feet together, and let's find some space first. So fingertips come down to lift your chest, and now stay upright as you turn your belly and chest over to the left. Again, close your eyes and breathe here the whole time. Or for something different, you might reach your right arm up, a bigger breath in. And as you exhale, hinge from your hips as your right hand grabs above or below the left knee. Those knees usually only go front to back, not side to side. If and when you have a hold of the outside of your left leg, you might walk your left hand to come in line with your left thigh or your calf. And as you press your left palm down and forward, anchor your butt cheeks towards the earth. Bend your right elbow to the right and turn your belly to the left. Each breath creates a churning. Each breath creates length and space. Every inhale, you reach your chest towards your left toes. Every exhale, you turn your belly from right to left, as if your belly button could cross over that left thigh. Each breath creates length. Each exhale allows for softening. Okay, give me a little assist here, Becca. Anchor this hip down. And now inhale, reach long through here. Keep going. And exhale to turn this way. Inhale, think long through here. Reach your chest forward. And exhale to turn. Does that feel any different? Good. If you folded forward on an inhale, come all the way back upright. Begin to bend your knees, bring both feet onto the floor. You'll take a little spin, come to lie on your back so that your head is facing the front of the room, feet are to the back of the room. And before you get too comfortable, have some therapy balls close by. If you need any, I can bring some over to you. You can lay down and raise a hand. We'll use them in a little bit. Gotcha. Oh, I can go. Oh, yes. Do you mind? Oh, thanks, Corinne. Do you know where they are? They're in that closet. Thank you. Hero Corinne is bringing more for us because they all got lost. We'll use them in a second. But once you're on your back, bend your knees, bring your feet flat onto the ground. And once your feet come down onto the floor, knock your knees into one another. Let your hands rest onto your belly or onto your chest. Close your eyes for a moment and call yourself back to your breath. Can you take a full breath in through the nose to fill your belly and up into your chest? And a longer breath out through your nose or mouth. Take one more, breathe into the belly and the back of your chest. And as you open your mouth to let that breath out, let yourself soften and widen against the earth. Now here, as you hug both knees in towards your chest, give yourself an embrace. You might stay still, feeling the back of your head and your tail heavy on the ground. You might make some small circles in one or the other direction. Or you might lean from side to side and notice what you feel. Thank you. I'll distribute. You can take yours. Thank you. Okay. Anyone else need therapy balls who'd like to use them? Okay. As you slowly release your legs down onto the ground, this evening I'll talk you through some therapy ball work in the upper back. So here, you get the choice of whether you'd like to keep them in their tote or take them out. But if your head is very close to the top edge of your mat, I suggest just scooching more to the middle. I find when the therapy balls come onto the bamboo floor, they tend to slip out of the way. But once you find the therapy balls, hold them in your hands and begin to lift your head, neck, and shoulders up off the ground. And now from your upper back, pop the therapy balls in between your shoulder blades to the top tips of your shoulder blades themselves. That's it. Once you find a place you can breathe in, let your head come down, let your arms come down by your sides, and a breath. Now here, if you'd like to alleviate any pressure, you might bring your head up onto a block at its lowest height. But as you let your head be supported by a block or the floor, let your arms come down by your sides and remember your own breath itself. Remember that ocean of consciousness never stills, but only reveals more and more to us. So can you let the fullness of your breath create that steady stream of consciousness that you can notice? Now we'll find 2 more spots here in the upper back with your knees bent, feet on the floor. Press just enough through your legs and roll your body a few inches to the front of the room until you feel the therapy balls come down your back to the middle of the shoulder blades, so slightly lower than just where they were. Once you find this new place, as your arms get heavy, take a big breath in and even open your mouth to let that breath out. You might stay here and explore the world in stillness, or to find any gentle movement, perhaps you reach your arms up towards the ceiling with your fingers and your palms soft. Being mindful of any neighbors or props around you, you might begin to reach just your right arm overhead to the front of the room. And as you slowly draw your right arm back up to the sky, perhaps your left arm reaches overhead. But continue with 3 more full breaths in through the nose and all the way out through your nose or mouth. After a few breaths, you can release and lower your arms down by your sides. And for one last place with your knees bent, feet against the ground, press just enough through your feet to roll your body another few inches north until the therapy balls come down to the bottom of the shoulder blades, so slightly lower than just where they've been before. A big breath in. And even open your mouth to offer that breath out as you soften in towards yourself. Stay right here or reach your arms up to the ceiling, and this time give yourself a hug as if your hands could reach for the therapy balls behind your back. Try to unclench your fingers and fists and palms. You might lean from one side to the other. If you are giving yourself a hug, you might switch which elbow is on top to notice any difference as you breathe. And now slowly begin to unwrap your arms if they're wrapped around you. Clear any blocks from underneath you if they're there. And as you reach one or both of your arms overhead, gently roll over to any side of your choice to curl into yourself for a breath. You might use your arm underneath your head as support as you breathe. And now with the least amount of effort needed, press into the ground and come up to a seat just for a moment as we set up for Shavasana. So you can clear the therapy balls out of the way. And in a moment, you'll set up for rest. I want to present you with some options for some support in the low back. But for this one, you might take your 2 blocks to the back of your mat and stack them next to each other. Your blanket usually comes off the stack like this. You might fold it in half or roll it all the way up to rest onto the blocks. And when you come to lay down, you'll want the crook of your knees to rest onto the blanket so that when you come to lie on your back, it allows for your low back to settle and soften into the ground. But if there's any other variation of Shavasana you'd love to find and choose, please feel free to take it. But you'll all set up with your head facing the front of the room, feet to the back of the room. And see, while you set up, can you move even 1% slower than you are already? As you set yourself up for rest. You might let your hair down. You might set your glasses safely off to the side. And remember, as you set up, you can always shift or adjust or modify. You might let your arms come down by your sides to let the muscles of your arms, your shoulders, and your wrists release into the earth. And it's here I'll talk you through a few rounds of pranayama, of some breath work, to prepare the body for rest and to draw your attention more inward. For this interrupted or suspended breath called Viloma Pranayama, you'll begin by taking a breath in through the nose to fill your belly and up into your chest. And exhale through the nose or parted lips to offer all of that breath out. Imagine and feel your next inhale in 3 distinct parts. As you breathe in through the nose, fill your belly and gently hold. Fill your lungs and the sides of your waist. Pause here. 3rd, fill into your chest. Pause at the top. And as you exhale through the nose, begin to empty heart, lungs, and belly. That's 1 round. Take a few more at your pace, more than my voice. Inhale to fill your belly, retain. Fill your lungs, hold. Fill the back and front of your chest, pause. And exhale through the nose to slowly empty heart, lungs, and belly. 3 more rounds. Inhale, the belly fills, retain. Fill your lungs, hold. Fill up into the chest, pause at the top. And exhale through the nose to empty chest, lungs, and belly. Slow breath in, fill your belly, retain. Fill your lungs, hold. Fill up into the heart, pause. And exhale through the nose to empty chest, lungs, and belly. Last round. Inhale, the belly fills, retain. Fill your lungs, pause. Fill the back and front of your chest, gently hold. And exhale through the nose to empty chest, lungs, and belly. Now, without any holds or pauses, take a breath to fill your belly, your heart, your throat, up into the crown of your head. And as you exhale through your nose or parted lips, let all of the breath pour itself through you. It's here, in your pose of rest, where the brilliance and beauty of your body lays itself on the altar of the earth. And it's with each breath that you take, the heavier you allow for your body to become, the more expansive and the more spacious you may just start to feel. Begin to deepen your breath. Take a longer breath in and a longer breath out. Take another breath in and down so it fills you up completely. And exhale to offer all of that breath out. Let your breath begin to awaken the body that you're in with any gentle movement that feels supportive to you. You might roll your wrists or your ankles in one or the other direction. Perhaps you tip your head gently from one side to the other, heavy against its support. or being mindful of any props or neighbors around you, you might reach your arms away from your legs or draw your knees in towards your chest. But when the time comes, you can bend both knees, feel your feet on the floor or on your blanket as you reach your arms overhead. And begin to roll over to any side of your choice for even a moment to curl into yourself. The place from where it all begins, here against the ground. And now with the least amount of effort required, take your time to press into the floor and come up to a tall seat, similar to how we began. You might be seated on your blanket or up on your blocks. But with your eyes softly closed or softly open, can you listen for your own breath? Each inhalation an opportunity to create. Each exhale an opportunity to dissolve. For each breath will help you begin again and again and again. So as we finish our practice and our time here with each other, we'll close with one more round of that breath. You can draw your hands to center where that feels for you as you wait for your breath in to fill you up and an exhale out in every direction of your being. You might bow your head to your heart or gently lift your hands towards your head in such a profound yet simple gesture of self-reverence, bowing to yourself and to one another who practiced right alongside next to you. And I bow to each and every one of you all. Thank you for choosing to be here. Thanks, everyone. Enjoy the weather, drink water, take those allergy meds for another week or so. And I'll see you soon. If there's any props or things you use from the studio or your own mats, if you want to give them a swipe, there's a fresh tub of wipes over here. And while I'll slowly turn the lights up, they changed the lighting system a couple months ago, and I still have trigger finger, so I try to do it in a yogic way, and sometimes it's blinding, but hopefully it'll come. Okay, good. A couple announcements. There's some yoga-related stuff, some non-yoga-related stuff. Kai, who just graduated from teacher training last year from here, is also a martial artist and is just a phenomenal human being. He's offering his workshop, Rooted and Ready. He offered it last fall, and it was such a success that the peoples were demanding another session. So you didn't have to come to the first one to come to this one, but it's a 4-week self-defense series specifically geared towards the yoga community where mindfulness meets empowerment. And you can come to one, none, or all of them, but they're starting on Monday nights on March 16th. And then, what's the date today? The 10th. Oh, okay. There's so much stuff coming up. There's Sound Bowl meditation with Elizabeth Zach this Sunday. Spring equinox celebration. If you like the therapy ball work, Mariel's doing a roll into renewal. 75 minutes of just rolling on the 22nd to really get into it. Every time we offer those, it's like, people are like, can we do more? I'm like, yes, we can do them all the time. So if you're free, that's on the 22nd. That's all I have. Anyone here have announcements? Things in your lives, your worlds that other people might want to know about or see or go to? I know, it's that weird time of year where it's like I'm still scared to go outdoors, but we will persist. I'll see y'all soon. Thank you. Thank you.